Yeah, we're really trying to make the world of Bitcoin investing accessible to everybody. We're trying to explain blockchain and these new altcoins or alternatives to Bitcoin in a way that everybody can understand. Blockchain is very technically complex, and I think there's a huge need to just explain it in plain English using simple examples that everybody can understand. And it's very much like the web in 1994, 1995, when it was still really geeky. It was hard to use. The tools hadn't been invented yet. Netscape hadn't been invented yet. And so it was hard to kind of understand. That's the place where we're at right now with blockchain. And what we need is to get everyone on board to explain this as widely as possible to as many people as possible, because that's how we build this.
Sure.
Make it great.
Hello, Co-Create Catalysts. We are here today with John Hargrave, and he is the CEO of is it Media Shower? Yes, Media Shower, which is the parent company of Bitcoin Market Journal, which is the sponsor of the Bitcoin Bus this year. Actually, we'll put in some B-roll of some clips that you can kind of check it out. Lots of people have been taking pictures of it as we've drove by the street. We've probably quadrupled the number of signatures that we have here on the bus. We've had several interviews take place, including this one. So, welcome to the Bitcoin Bus.
It's been fun.
Awesome. So the first question we want to ask is, we actually want to dive into you as an entrepreneur, because if viewers want to learn about Bitcoin, if they want to learn about blockchain, you have a whole media company where they can go and learn about that. So we want to talk about you and how you ended up getting to where you are today. So just kind of tell your story of how you got here.
Yeah, I think it's the most exciting time to be alive.
Awesome.
Ever in human history. I really do. And I started my career at a publishing company called Ziff Davis, and so we published computer magazines back in the day. And Dick, you may be too young to remember, but magazines were these stacks of colored paper.
Oh.
Yeah, they were sold in these things called
What's paper?
Stores. And it was really great because I was there at the beginning of the dot-com revolution. So I'm there at a technology company covering the technology revolution. It was the greatest time.
Wow.
It was the greatest time. I never thought I'd be lucky enough to see it a second time in my career. But if anything, the blockchain revolution is more exciting. It's more fun. There's more innovation. There's more talent. There's more money flowing into this than during the dot-com revolution.
Really?
And that is what is so exciting about being alive at this time.
So do you have any numbers that, just so they can kind of see the size?
Well, the cryptocurrency market at this point is about a $500 billion market, and that came out of thin air. It didn't exist just a few years ago.
Right.
So it just shows you the incredible amount of value that is being created all around us.
Right. And then do you know what it's going to be projected to be at a year from now, let's say?
$20 quintillion.
Wow.
I just made that number up.
Got a little Dr. Evil moment now. So you said that you were in the dot-com era when it was getting big.
Yeah.
Did you ever work with any big name entrepreneurs that were maybe just starting out at that time that now everybody would know?
Yeah, I mean, I was part of the very early Yahoo team. So we worked at Ziff Davis with Yahoo on kind of a joint project, and that was really fun and really exciting in a very beginning kind of nascent stage. But so many other great technology companies from that time, we were partnering very closely with them.
So what was your favorite project that you worked on during that time?
I created a humor site. I think it was the world's first comedy site, as far as I know. It was called Zug.com. And
does it still exist?
No, it eventually was sunsetted, as we say, but we had a great time with it, and we were well known for our pranks. So we would do these crazy pranks. Like one time we hired a Michael Jackson impersonator to go into a concert by Gladys Knight. It was like a $10,000 a plate charity fundraiser as Michael Jackson, and everybody really thought it was Michael Jackson. So we had this whole press booth set up for the fake Michael Jackson. And that was just one of the crazy things we did. We went to a trade show. We would do these crazy stunts. We brought hundreds of dollars in cash and we climbed up on the scaffolding in this giant trade show, and we threw money out to the crowd and caused like a panic and
Sure.
crazy stuff like that. So these were the kinds of ways that we spent our time.
Wow, that sounds like a good way to kick off the career. So, do you tie in any of that, like your origins of humor, into your like workspace now?
Dude, we're on a bus.
Yeah, that's true. We're on the blockchain bus.
Traveling around Boston.
Awesome.
With a blockchain bus on the side. What does this even mean? What does a bus have to do with the blockchain?
Well, we're not pranking you. You are on camera though.
At the beginning of Boston Blockchain Week, we kicked it off by renaming historic Beacon Street to Blockchain Street. So Beacon Street is the famous street on Boston's historic Freedom Trail. It's where the old granary burying ground and Park Street Church, lots of history. And we said, well, the blockchain is a historic moment, so we're going to take the liberty of renaming it. So we had a actual street sign made, and we went on Monday morning and pasted over the existing street sign and renamed Beacon Street to Blockchain Street. So that's the kind of sense of fun and humor and pranksterism that we're bringing to this.
Awesome. So on a more serious note, what is the Bitcoin business or the Bitcoin Market Journal doing for, like, who's it for? Who wants to read it? Who wants to go to the site? Who's it for?
Yeah, we're really trying to make the world of Bitcoin investing accessible to everybody. We're trying to explain blockchain and these new altcoins or alternatives to Bitcoin in a way that everybody can understand. Blockchain is very technically complex, and I think there's a huge need to just explain it in plain English, using simple examples that everybody can understand. And it's very much like the web in 1994, 1995, when it was still really geeky. It was hard to use. The tools hadn't been invented yet. Netscape hadn't been invented yet. And so it was hard to kind of understand. That's the place where we're at right now with blockchain. And what we need is to get everyone on board to explain this as widely as possible to as many people as possible, because that's how we build this.
Sure.
Make it great.
So is it specifically targeted for people who want to go from totally oblivious to like a well understanding, or is there more like advanced concepts?
Well, we start off with basic beginner information, like what is Bitcoin, but then it moves to blockchain, and then we talk in depth about altcoins, cryptocurrencies, initial coin offerings, and so forth. So we really try to cover a wide spectrum.
Sure. So why the choice in Bitcoin Market Journal instead of like Crypto Market Journal or something like that?
We don't like the word cryptocurrency.
Okay, why is that?
Because number one, crypt, bad word, right?
I've never thought of that, but now it makes sense.
It either means scary or dead.
Right.
The crypt keeper.
Right.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
You don't want to wake up in bed next to the crypt keeper. So cryptocurrency, we feel, is a word that will not stand the test of time. Also, Dick, too long.
That is true.
5 syllables?
Yeah.
Why? No. Altcoin. Alternatives to Bitcoin. That really covers it to us, because altcoin also kind of shows it's a coin. It's like a token. It's a currency. And it feels good because people like coins.
Sure. That's right. And actually, kind of related, we were actually talking about kind of for fun making some physical coins just to distribute to represent, different cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, we can throw those from the bus like we threw money.
The money off the ceiling. Yeah,
yeah,
that's right. And we can see who dives after them, and then that'll be the prank, and they'll think that it's real.
But each one of the coins is actually worth a full Bitcoin. That's the thing, is nobody will understand that it's actually thousands of dollars worth of value.
Right.
That would be expensive prank, but funny.
Well, if you have the budget. No, I'm just kidding. So, where do you kind of see the Bitcoin markets going in the future? Like, we had talked about it being like the second .com boom. So obviously, you think it's going on the up. But in the short term, do you think, like we recently had, like December through now, it's been declining a little bit and it's been having a lot of fluctuation. Do you think that'll continue, or do you think it'll hold strong?
Well, those of us who have been doing this for several years, I got into Bitcoin in 2013, and you get used to this.
Right.
It goes up and it goes down, and it goes up, and it's wildly volatile, and that's why we tell investors, use common sense investing principles. Don't invest your kid's college fund into
Right.
Bitcoin, think about it as a very small slice of your overall portfolio, and be willing to lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, invest a little bit. Invest even if it's $50, $100. Buy a little bit of Bitcoin so you can get some skin in the game and you can start to understand
Mm-hmm.
how it's going. And clearly, we believe in the potential of blockchain and of these new types of digital tokens because we have devoted our lives to them. We
Right.
have, moved our companies in this direction. We're 100% all in. So I believe the long-term potential is very promising.
So do any of the other companies in Media Shower are also kind of, you said, are they also angling towards blockchain in any way?
Yeah, so we work with many clients who are basically looking to enter the blockchain space, or traditional companies that are now launching blockchain projects, and we do strategy and analysis for those companies. So we basically come in and say, here's how you need to be positioning your blockchain project, here's how you need to be thinking about it, here's how to find investors for your project, and so forth.
So you're in like the pre-launch phase of
Frequently,
somebody.
or sometimes it's an existing company that has needs blockchain advice
Right.
for a new project they're launching.
Sure. So do you, after like a successful project, do you continue with them, to advance it, make it better, improve
It's
it?
a good question. It's different for everyone. It's strategy and consulting. So sometimes we'll have continued strategic work with them afterwards, and sometimes we'll give them recommendations and then connect them with best-in-class partners.
Sure. So on the entrepreneur side, what's one piece of advice that you can give to young entrepreneurs, whether they want to start a media company like the Bitcoin Market Journal, or they want to, just start their own company in general that could have nothing to do with cryptocurrency or blockchain in general?
Yeah, do it. That's the most important thing. And the entrepreneurial mindset is you don't wait for somebody to ask you to do it.
Right.
You spot the opportunity and you do it. You don't wait for permission to do it. You
Right.
spot the opportunity and you do it. And that's even more the case in the blockchain space, where there's so much opportunity and there's so much need. There's so many things that we need built. There's so much value to be added right now. Every day I look and say, somebody needs to do that, somebody needs to organize that, somebody needs to build that.
Right.
And when you see those, you just do it. You get out there and do it. And by doing it, you start to learn what works and what doesn't. You kind of, in a very agile way, continue to build the things that are working, get rid of the things that aren't, and you just keep that virtuous cycle, the snowball of value growing more and more and bigger and bigger.
So I've got two split questions from your answer there. The first one being, what about entrepreneurs that might not have the skill set to develop some kind of blockchain? And then the second question, what about the people who have the skill set to develop blockchain, but they don't really see the opportunity, they don't see the vision, they don't see what they could do with their skills? What's your advice for those two people?
Yeah, so if you're not a developer, there's still so many ways to add value to this ecosystem. I mean, we're a content company, right? We're a media company, and we're finding all these ways to add value to that. We're not developers. We don't program on the blockchain, but there's so much more to be done. So whether you're an artist, whether you're marketing, whether you're business, accounting, legal, all these things are needed in the blockchain space right now. And if you are a developer and you just can't come up with an idea, then partner with somebody like that who, has the idea but doesn't have the development expertise. I think being a developer in the blockchain space right now is one of the most valuable career paths, because it's still such a dark art. It's still so hard to find good blockchain developers. So if you have any interest in that, go teach yourself. You will have more work than you can possibly imagine.
Sure. So are there resources that they can find on any of your websites for maybe connecting with other people like you had talked about, or finding resources of where to start?
Yeah, so we have a free newsletter at bitcoinmarketjournal.com that you can sign up for. And then for folks in the Boston area, we run a blockchain innovation hub called Genesis Block. We have about a dozen blockchain companies and entrepreneurs there who all get together and we learn. We work alongside each other, and every week we're asking questions and helping each other out, just like here at Co-Create-X.
Right.
And we also have a bi-weekly lunch and learn. So basically we open it up to the public to come in and teach them about blockchain, because education is a really big part of our mission. It's something we're really passionate about doing. We do it as a public good. But by doing that, we really are kind of the locus of all of the blockchain innovation happening in Boston. We're in the
Right.
deal flow, so we get a lot out of it as well. But it's just been so much fun, and it's such an exciting time to be alive and to be working in this space.
Awesome. Well, John, do you have any last asks for the audience where they should go? Anything that, can they follow you personally or any of your companies on social media?
I thought you meant follow me home. They could follow the bus
That's true.
by trailing along behind the Bitcoin Market Journal bus. You can follow me on LinkedIn, and that's probably the best place where I post regular video training updates and kind of a video log of all the great things that we're doing in this space.
Awesome. So we'll put a link in the description or the show notes wherever you're watching this. And John, it was a pleasure.
Dick, thank you
Thanks
so
for the
much,
interview.
and thanks to the Co-Create team for such an amazing Boston Blockchain Week. It was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was really interesting to see all the people. And hey, thank you for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Awesome. That was really fun. Thanks for the interview.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box. Nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop. Cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I want to do when I want to.